Hey guys, I want to share with you 3 things you can do to get organized in the car business right now and start being more successful in 2025. First of all, why is it important to get organized? Well, this is a fast-paced business. Whether you've been in it a while or you're just getting into it, if you're just getting into it, you're going to figure it out. It's a pretty fast-paced business. And if you've been in it a while, you already know. So organization, in other words, organizing yourself and your business is critical in building a successful foundation for your future business and your current business. There's 3 positive things you can take away from it. One, it helps you prioritize effectively. In other words, you can put things in order and get more done. Maximize the amount of time, so have some life balance and you're not sitting there working bell to bell every day, 7 days a week. And you create a better environment for your customers to do business with you. In other words, that word you hear all the time, CSI, you'll improve your customer satisfaction. So the first thing we want to talk about is physical. What's your physical environment look like? How's your desk? If you have a desk, a designated cubicle where customers come and sit with you, what does it look like? Would you want to do business there? Are there old files laying around, 10-year-old brochures, current sports magazines? What's there? An old dried up can of Coke? Clean up your space. And if you can't see it, have your spouse or significant other come in, or a friend, or grab somebody from the office and say, hey, come and look at my workspace. What do you think? What can I do to improve it? Make it work better for me and for my customers, okay? If you have a work cubicle that you don't bring customers to, same thing, organize that thing. It's gonna help you not miss opportunities because you weren't organized, okay? And make sure things are clean. Wipe down your phone, clean off the top of your desk. The great thing about, and files, grab files. The great thing about working in the auto industry is your dealer usually provides you with all these things. Cleaning materials, files, things to get organized, pens, paper, whatever you need, okay? So the second thing I want to talk about is scheduling for success. Now, most of the dealers out there these days use some type of a CRM tool, Dealer Socket, Salesforce, something like that. And there's a lot of tools inside that help keep you organized. But if you never do anything with it, it doesn't really matter, right? A lot of those will give you daily tasks when you come to work. It'll show you what you need to do for the day. If that does, complete those tasks. Work on that stuff. And also make sure you're calendaring that into your week. Because then what usually happens, you get distracted, you're not organized, you're busy scrambling, trying to catch up on things, and you don't get the things done that your manager needs done, i.e. that usually lead to selling a vehicle, okay? So make sure you're using your calendars and your schedulers that your employer provides. But in addition to that, you have your own device, right? Most smartphones have some type of scheduling device in them. They have a way to make notes and things like that. But I'll tell you, those things can lose those files. A notepad or a planner doesn't lose those files. And there's something about mentally writing things down that helps you remember things. Plus, if you're doing it in an erasable pen or a pencil, you can erase it, change it. And when you're working on scheduling, look at what your day looks like, your week, your month, your quarter, even your year, because that keeps you organized. It eliminates, or it helps to mitigate the surprise and the things that happen at the last minute that you're scrambling to take care of. In other words, you had an appointment at 5:30 and you forgot about it, and the customer shows up at 5:20 and the car is not even on the lot yet. It's over at the detail shop. Having a schedule and calendaring those items helps you with that. And then work on a to-do list. Again, most schedulers, planners, even your CRMs will have to-do lists within them. What I did that was really helpful when I was in the industry is I took care of my to-do list before I went home at night or before I went to bed. I double-checked my to-do list for the next day, helped me make sure I had everything ready, and then you're prepared for the next day. You're not trying to get prepared for it 10 minutes before your day starts or 10 minutes after your day started. So those to-do lists should be perpetual. They should be ongoing. If you're working that to-do list and doing those tasks, it builds other tasks because you're selling more cars, you're calling more people back, you're prospecting more, etc. Okay? There's a lot of tools out there for doing that. But one of the things that's scheduling for success that I want to emphasize is there's an emergency room medical way of triaging. In other words, when patients are coming into an emergency room, they have a way to figure out who needs help the most. So I put together this real handy dandy learning aid. right there that talks about their priorities. Now, red in an ER means that this is life-threatening, that it's urgent, it has to be taken care of right now. You can get a pen, a highlighter. There's a pen that has multiple ink colors on it. It'd be easy to use. But red is critical. You got to get that done. Whether you mark it red in your electronic device, your computer, something handwritten, that gives you a priority. Orange is urgent, but it's not more important than a quote-unquote loss of life in the red zone. Green is something that needs to get done, but it can wait. Maybe it's training that you could get done later in the week. Maybe it's some other paperwork that you need to process, but it's not time sensitive, okay? That's what the green zone is for. Now black, this is we'll expand on this in some future videos, but black is basically the no button. Or in other words, I'm not doing anything about that. Dead on DOA, do not resuscitate, leave it in the past, okay? So that's another thing that we can spend a lot of time on and stuff that we can't really do anything about. So we would code that in a black, okay? So last but not least, the third step I want to talk to you about is mental. It's about getting your head in the game. If your store works an up system, in other words, you rotate through and you take the next customer on the lot, being up isn't about just kissing the glass and watching the cars come on the lot. It's about being mentally up, mentally ready to talk to that customer, kind of psyching yourself out, clearing your head, leaving your problems at the door. You need to be present, you need to be positive, you need to be excited, and all of that is encapsulated in being a professional and giving that customer an experience they weren't expecting. So one of the questions I always ask myself, came from training years ago, still applies today, is that ask yourself this. If you find yourself over in the corner talking to your other team members, you're talking about the game last night, you're talking about what you're doing this weekend, you're talking about the last bad customer you had, or the way that your manager yelled at you for not getting the close, or whatever it is. Ask yourself this question: am I doing the most productive thing I can be doing right now? Because remember this, as much as you need to get along with your coworkers, and they're nice people, and maybe even your friends, last I checked, they don't pay your rent or your house payment or your mortgage payment or your car payment, any of your payments really, right? So that 5, 10, 20 minutes that you lose talking to them could be putting a sale together. Or maybe you're even missing a customer because you're not doing the most productive thing you'd be doing right now. There are a lot of other ways you can support yourself by getting additional training, sales training. I'll tell you, your managers usually have a whole library of things that they can share with you on training. Your manufacturer, if you work for a new car store, there's all kinds of sales training and product training they can offer you and help you get excited and more knowledgeable and more confident about what you're selling. But keep in mind, it's really up to you to have your head in the game and then have the desire and own this thing, own it, on how to get your head in the game. There's lots of books. We're going to share some titles that we've looked at that we really think are current and very proactive in today's market. We'll share those links to those books where you can get them on ebook or a physical book. And you know, if you have any questions or comments about other training and other things you can do, or other tools that I've used that work for me or are working for you, please share it with us. Just put in the comments organize, and we'll send you those links. And we'll touch on more of this later on.